Hello folks, this is Sula speaking. You're listening to another video for Teamfight Tactics. This is taken from a double-up game played with Antisocialmunky. Note that we do have a Grandmaster team here, in addition to a pair of Masters teams, are getting very close to the top of the double-up ladder. In this game, we're going to be looking at a country-focused team, and in particular, a chance to play Country 7, which is the highest tier of country, and not something I've had a chance to feature in a video previously. Now, we have our starting portal here. Note that everyone else in the lobby races over to Wandering Trainers. This is one of my least favorite portals. It injects a huge amount of randomness into the game, but all six of the other players wanted Wandering Trainers, and sure enough, we are going to get Wandering Trainers. If you are unfamiliar with this portal, what happens is everyone gets a target dummy, and it has 3 random emblems on it, 3 completely random emblems. So based on what's on there, you can have a huge swinginess in how the game is going to go, because sometimes you can get emblems that have a great deal of synergy, and sometimes you can get ones that just have no connection whatsoever. I would not say that I have a dummy that has much in the way of synergy. I have a country emblem, an edgelord emblem, and a hyperpop emblem. These really have no connection whatsoever. That said, I did go ahead and look around the lobby, and it turned out that no one else had a country one. Antisocialmunky, you might have seen, has a true damage emblem, and so he is going to play into a true damage team composition for his setup. But I'm looking around the lobby, I'm like, country? Does anyone have a country emblem? And the answer is no. No one has a country emblem, so this is great. I was like, all right, I'm just going to play into country because I think it's going to be uncontested. Country is reasonably strong as far as something you can play. The big thing about country, though, is you can't be contested. If you're contested, it ends up being very weak. There's just not enough units for both of you to play country because you have to 3-star your units if you're going to play country. You got to go for 3-star units. And if you don't have that, it's not going to be sufficient. Anyway, I am going to go ahead and get this 2-star Tom Kench from Antisocialmunky. I actually could have tried to go for 3-star Tom Kench, and if I were to play this game over again, I think I would have just grabbed Toms, because I would end up seeing a lot of Tom Kenches over the course of this game. I actually think I could have 3-starred the unit. But on the other hand, that also would have cost me a fair amount of econ, so maybe it was better off not picking them up anyway, so I could just try to get to level 7 faster. Alright, in terms of our augment here, I'm looking at the different options, and I am going to take Jeweled Lotus, which is going to allow my abilities to crit. And this is going to be a pretty good fit for the setup I have here, because you are going to look to play into Executioner trait, which is all about critically striking. This is going to allow everybody to crit. Now, you could say there's some wasted ability here, because the main thing that Jeweled Lotus lets your units do is it lets their abilities crit, and Executioners can have their ability crit naturally. So you can say there is some wasted ability here. But by the same token, just getting more crit chance and for an Executioner's board is really good, just because you really want them getting off their crits, and if they are guaranteed to crit, then the higher crit chance does get translated into higher crit damage. So there is some synergy here. You can say there's some wasted stats, but there's also some synergy here, and I don't think that there was really a lot else that looked all that good on the initial targeting, on the initial augment choice. Okay, so games underfoot. I am up against a disco board here. This person actually has the disco augment as well. They have the disco ball augment, which means that the disco ball pulses more often. Instead of pulsing and healing every 3 seconds, it pulses every 2.5 seconds. And the disco ball's range is extended further. My board at the moment is kind of a stall board. I picked up a Bruiser Olaf just as kind of a random headliner. Does not actually fit the comp all that well, but I figured I could play 4 Bruiser for the early game and go from there. The goal is just to have a headliner that's going to take us until we reach level 7, and then at level 7, we're going to look to find Samira headliner. We could also find an Urgot headliner, and we'll just try to fill out our board with more country units. But for right now, I'm just playing 4 Bruisers because 4 Bruisers is strong in the early game. Now note, I've also got Hyperpop trait from this targeting dummy. So you might say, oh, that's kind of cool. You get an extra trait for free, because Hyperpop is, I believe, the only trait that's non-unique that you actually get the benefit with just 1 unit. Except that this actually doesn't do anything, because Hyperpop trait it grants attack speed and mana to nearby units when Hyperpop units cast their ability. Yeah, the targeting dummy is never going to cast an ability because it doesn't have one, so the Hyperpop trait actually does nothing here. The only thing it does is if I were to play into Jazz, if I were to play into Jazz, then it would count as an additional trait for Jazz purposes, but I'm not going to be playing Jazz. There's really no synergy between Jazz and Country, so this is just going to be entirely wasted, and the Edgelord one is also going to be entirely wasted. So 2 out of the 3 of the emblems that I have on the Wandering Trainer are completely useless, and this is what I meant about not liking this as a portal. It just, you can either hit really hard on the emblems, or you could just whiff completely, and it's kind of frustrating when that happens. In any case, though, I am just going to continue chilling here. Won the first round, lost the second round. I probably would have won that second round, except that I got reinforced on, so it was not sufficient here. I'm continuing to try to pick up Yasuo's and other true damage units for Antisocial Monkey. He has not found a Yasuo headliner yet, but he has found a 2-star Yasuo. And with his true damage emblem, it makes a lot of sense for him to play into this. Big downside is there's another person, excuse me, there's another person who's also looking to play into Yasuo and is also going to reroll for it. And they actually do have the Yasuo headliner. So it's this person, Cougar. Note that they just have a significantly more synergy on their emblems here. True damage emblem for the Yasuo. Excuse me. And it actually is a true damage headliner Yasuo that they have. So they've got the true damage emblem. They also have a rapid fire emblem, so they can just play Senna and then they'll have rapid fire trait in. And then they can also look to try to get Heartsteel trait in potentially if they want, although that's probably going to be a little bit trickier. Good news is the 4 bruisers are very tanky, and that's going to be enough to win this round. Even though I have like no offense at all, it's still going to be sufficient to win this round. Now, I could also pick up the 2 Jinxes. That would allow me to play Jinx 2-star on level up. The only thing is, I'd actually favor having 10 gold over playing a 2-star Jinx here. I'd rather actually just have the 10 income because Twitch is not going to be on my board long term. He is just holding items for a future Samira, and that's all I care about there. I also actually get second pick here, which is a little bit surprising. I guess it's because Antisocial Monkey's on full win streak, whereas I did lose 1 round. And there's another team that's basically on full win streak as well. So however the math of the health works out, I actually do get second pick. I'm going to go ahead and take the Kale because I want this glove. It will be an Infinity Edge, and that's one of the most important items on Samira. Ideally, you make Infinity Edge, Last Whisper, and then just get her more attack speed. I'm also going to get another Yasuo here. The Champion Send is also cooled down, so I'm going to send this over to Antisocial Monkey. Very happy to do that. And now I can level and put in the Jinx, and that'll get Punk Trade in, even though Punk Trade's not really going to do a whole lot. I am not going to be looking to use the Punk free reroll, or not free reroll, the cheap reroll. It only costs 1 gold to reroll. But I favor having more economy over using a Punk reroll because the Punk units are going to come out of this board. Now, if you're curious about what some of the other teams are playing, we do have some people looking to play KDA. As I said, there's one team that's going to play Disco. They had that set up. There's also a couple people with Crowd Diver emblems. So I believe there's going to be 2 people in this lobby who end up playing Crowd Divers. And then there's a very interesting board that is going to look to play heavily into Executioners. They're going to end up playing Twitch. And they're gonna play the Executioner reroll board that uses the Twin Terror, although I don't think that they get that until the second augment. But it's like they want to play 2 Twitches, they want to play 2 Pantheons, they want to play 2 Vexes, and they want to play 2 Amumus, and that's going to be the core of their comp. And that's going to end up influencing which units I play on my board as well. Good news here is that Yasuo player, excuse me, I got reinforced on by that Yasuo player that we saw earlier. So they have a Yasuo headliner. The good news is they don't have Yasuo items. Here I'm going to find an Urgot, so that's nice. Remember, I'm going towards country units, so I want to snap up any country units I might see. Antisocial Monkey also has now found an Urgot. He was holding Katarina's for me, but he's going to go ahead and send the Urgot instead. And I've decided, you know what, I'll just put Urgot on the board. I don't actually care about this Jinx. I'll just go ahead and play the Urgot instead. I'd also would love to sell this Senna to get to 20 gold, but this is a unit that Antisocial Monkey is going to need. He actually needs the center for 4 true damage. He hasn't found it yet. I would have used it on the previous send, but it's more important for us to grab Yasuo so that he can try to get Yasuo 3-star. So anyway, this does put country trait on the board. We've got the Hecarim is now going to appear for the first time. And this is, even though I'm only playing 2 country units, I have Tom Kench and then I have Urgot. But the Hecarim's going to jump in there anyway because I have 3 country, thanks to having that country emblem on the targeting dummy. And now the targeting dummy is finally doing something. It's giving me the country trait. Let's see, do I need to go over here and help ASM Sport? I think he had this one won already, but I'll come over here and help him win that one. I believe he's on full win streak so far. No, he lost a round at some point. He lost a round at some point. But we are on 96 health, so that's pretty nice. I just wish I were on 20 gold instead of 19. But I'm not selling the Senna, I'm not selling the Urgot, so it is what it is. And at least there's a Katarina now as well. All right, so let's go ahead and cover country for a second here while we have a minute on the minion round. Every set tends to have one trait, which is as you play a bunch of units in this trait, you get an extra unit. And that's basically what country is in this one. We had that before with things like Cultist back in set 4, Innovator in set 6. There's been a whole bunch of these. Here's the formal description. When your team loses 30% of their health, a Dreadsteed, i.e. Hecarim, appears that empowers your team. Each country star level increases the Dreadsteed's health and attack damage. So you get the idea. As you get more ranks in country, Hecarim will come in. Having more Hecarims makes your team stronger, or having more ranks in country makes the Hecarim stronger. It starts out at, he starts appearing on country 3, and then he gets much stronger at country 5, and then he gets really, really strong if you can get up to country 7. There are only 5 country units, so in order to get to country 7, typically you need to have a country headliner, and you also need a spatula. So that's why it's hard to get to country 7. And by the way, there you see the Yasuo 3-star popping up for Antisocial Monkey. The only downside there is it is an edgelord headliner. It would be better if it were a true damage headliner, because then he would actually have a legitimate chance to play 9 true damage, which is very overpowered. It's an edgelord Yasuo. He could not afford to pass that up, but he did find the Yasuo headliner, and he was able to make Yasuo 3-star. So that's nice. He hit that pretty fast. Now his Yasuo can continue stacking up. Yasuo, every time he gets a kill, he permanently gains 1.5% attack damage. Here is the Twitch board, and I was wrong. This person did actually take Twin Terror for their first augment. So they're going to be looking to play 2 Twitches, 2 Pantheons, 2 Vexes, and 2 Amumus. And this is going to, as I said, this is going to switch up how I play my board, because this means it's going to be very hard to find Vexes and Amumus, which are typically units that you would play if you were running a country board. So I am going to have to do a little bit of shifting of this team composition. All right, it's time for our second augment, and out of these different options here, I'm looking around. It's not too big to fail. It's not Gargantuan Resolve, which is the Super Titans. Not really going to be that helpful for me in this particular game. The Edge of Night is maybe useful. I did think about that, and then I have tons of stats here, but I look at the last one, I was like, Idealism, gain a Hand of Justice. Champions holding this deal 12% increased damage. So I was like, okay, there's actually good synergy with this item on Samira. It gives her some healing, and it also importantly gives her additional crowd chance, gives her additional crit chance as well. So that's going to be pretty nice. It means she's going to have some, as I said, some additional healing. And like I said, it means that she's going to have more critical strike chance, which will funnel back into more crit damage. I also now would really like to make Last Whisper for that last item. For her, I really need the ability to get some armor shred on my team. But I will have to get a bow and a glove for that. I have not seen any bows thus far, which is the biggest weakness in the item setup I have. Note that I'm also playing a Karthus. This is going to allow me to get Executioner trait in for Twitch. We actually have the mirror match here of the Yasuo headliners. Antisocial Monkey against this person, Cougar, who has the other Yasuo board. But unfortunately, this time he's going to lose the mirror match. That person had better Yasuo items. Again, they also have the true damage Yasuo, whereas he has the edgelord Yasuo, and the true damage version is probably better for this setup. I think it allowed that person to get 6 true damage in. Anyway, though, I'm still winning. I'm actually on a 5-match winning streak, which is kind of funny because I don't think my board is that amazing, but the 4 Bruisers is strong in the early game. As I said, it's going to fall off as the game goes on, and I'm not going to be playing 4 Bruisers long term, but it is going to be useful in that regard. Okay, I have the Sen back, so now we're trying to make Senna for his board. Note that ASM's found 2 Samiras for me. I'm going to try to head in that direction. Samira is the main carry unit for a country board. I'll go ahead and send him the Senna. That makes Senna 2-star for his board, and I believe he's going to be able to play that unit. I think he had 2 out of 3 Sennas. I also will pick up the Amumu because I do want to play Amumu later on. And I should have mentioned this before. I actually got a spatula to pop out of the minion round, so that's kind of interesting. Now if I can get a cloak, I can make another country emblem. And I actually might be able to play 7 country at a very early date if I can get this to work. I still have a Katarina on my bench that I'm not playing. I need to get Samira on the board. I have not seen Samira yet, but Antisocial Monkey does have some Samiras over there. By the way, Karthus doing some work here. Unfortunately, this is the 3-star Yasuo, and I can't beat 3-star Yasuo at this stage of the game. That person's just a little too strong, and I think they have 6 true damage in as well. So I knew I would lose that to that board. I was hoping I would just avoid hitting them for a while, but they did in fact pop up, and that puts an end to my win streak. Just in time for the carousel, right? Well, I'm 3rd pick on this carousel. Now, I'm looking for... ideally, I'd get a cloak so I can make another country spatula item. That would be great. But it's on an Ezreal, so I was like, all right, well, I'll never get that. Someone's going to take the Ezreal. I guess I could take the bow in the hopes of making Let's Whisper. Well, the bow's gone, the glove's gone, but the cloak is actually still there. I was really surprised the Ezreal stuck around that long for 3rd pick, but I'll happily take that. We actually don't have that many people playing Heartsteel in this game. In this patch, well, this was actually played on the previous patch if you're watching this, but because this game was played on a Monday, and I don't think this video is going to post until the end of the week. But yeah, Ezreal's been super popular in this patch. People just been playing that like nonstop. So in any case, though, no one took the Ezreal because Heartsteel is not being played that heavily in this game. And I have now double country emblems. For the gift round, I'm going to go ahead and take a Thief's Glove. This is often a useful item to put on Urgot because he's kind of like the secondary carry in one of these team compositions. I can now also look to drop the Karthus, I believe. I think I was holding the Karthus because there was the potential that I might get a... and I'm going to get the Samira Ascend over there from... I'm going to get the Samira Ascend over from Antisocialmunky, so I will transfer these over. He could have sent me a 2-star Katarina, but I don't actually care about Katarina. I want Samira's, so I'm going to go ahead and take the Samira instead. So now I have 5 country, and I'm not even playing the Katarina. So I can actually get 7 country in if I'm able to find either the Thresh, which would be one thing, or if I can find a country headliner, I would also be able to get 7 country in as well. So yeah, now I have the 5 country Hecarim, which is definitely stronger, but not nearly as strong as the 7 country will be. Now I'm up against these 3-star Yasuo board again, and the good news is with Antisocial's help, I'm going to be able to win that. By the way, that person I was up against this round is playing a Crowd Divers board. And, well, here we have another gift round. I'm going to send a spatula, and Antisocialmunky will make a true damage spatula. But one of these people was playing Crowd Divers, and they actually are trying to 3-star Katarina. So it's actually going to be hard to find Katarinas in this game. So I'm looking at this, I was like, all right, oftentimes when you play country, you always want to 3-star Samira. She is your main carry unit. Urgot's also a good one to 3-star as well. But sometimes you can look to 3-star Katarina if you're just hitting a lot of Katarinas. That's not going to happen in this game because someone's trying to go for 9 Katarinas. You often will try to 3-star Vex and Amumu as well. Vex is another executioner who pairs well with Samira, and then Amumu is frontline. But that Twitch player who has the what is it? It's Double Trouble or Twin Terror. The augment used to be called Double Trouble. Now it's called Twin Terror. Because they're going for double Twitches and double Vexes, it's going to be really hard to hit these units. If they hit the 3-star Twitch, they actually will get a duplicate Twitch. They'll actually get a duplicate 2-star Twitch. Well, 3-star Twitch is 9 Twitches, and then another 2-star is 3 more of them. So that's 12 of these units coming out of the pool if they hit their 3-star. Yeah, 12 Vexes coming out of the pool means that there's not enough left for me to 3-star Vex. So I do have 1 Vex, which is nice. I want to play the Vex because she gives some nice synergy. She gives Executioner trait for Samira, and then she'll also give Emo trait for Amumu, because I'm going to be moving out of the 4 Bruiser front line. I'm going to be moving into 2 Bruiser, 2 Guardian is kind of the plan. Country wants to run 2 Bruiser, 2 Guardian because you have Thresh, who's one of the most expensive Guardians, the 4-cost Guardian. And then you also have Tahm Kench anyway, so you might as well play these. There's no synergy with Sentinel trait for what that's worth. All right, here's a glove. That's actually kind of nice. If I could get a bow, I could look to make Last Whisper. But alternately, yeah, look at this. I have extra. I have the chance to make extra Hand of Justices too. So anyway, I'm going to sell the Olaf. It's time to move out of the Olaf. And now I'm going to run. And then I immediately spot a country Urgot. And I was like, oh, country Urgot. Well, okay, beggars can't be choosers. I would prefer to have Samira, but I'm not going to pass up on this. So I'll just sell the Urgot that's on my board right now. Let's get some of these items redistributed. So we've got a country emblem. Well, put that on the Zac, because that's going to come out of the board. And then I want to put my tank items on someone. I was trying to figure out who do I put the tank items on. I was like, we'll just put them on Zac because he's going to get sold. Maybe these can go over to Thresh later. Let's make a Hand of Justice for Urgot. And then I still have a Thief's Glove, and then I still have another Hand of Justice I can make. Remember, I have the Super Hand of Justice I have the buffed up beefy Hand of Justice, so it's definitely worth making these. And now I have the 3-star Hecarim, or I say 3-star Hecarim. It's country 7, but it's basically a 3-star Hecarim. Notice that he just is tanking forever. I think he would actually win this round, except the problem is we're going to go into overtime, and damage is increased in overtime. So yeah, Hecarim's losing his healing because in overtime, healing is greatly reduced. So yeah, Hecarim did 7,000 damage in that fight. As I said, I think he would have won the round, except that we went into overtime. But yeah, country 7's really strong. It gives me like this almost unkillable tank unit. Here, I decide I'll take Contagion. The highest health unit takes 18% more damage, and then it spreads over time. This is going to be good because it's going to be useful to cut through frontline, and that's something that I really need here is if I can't get a Last Whisper for Samira, I'm going to need something to help cut through frontline, and this will do that. Anyway, here I'm going to send a Yone over to Antisocial Monkey. He actually was able to make a true damage emblem, and he's going to try to... get Yone 3-star now that he has true damage Yone in his true damage / edgelord's comp. Anyway, I now need to redistribute the country emblem. I decide I'll go ahead and put my tank items on a Mumu. In retrospect, it would have been better to put these on set because it turns out that thanks to this the Twin Terror player taking lots of Amumus out of the pool, it's actually going to be very hard to hit a Mumu, where it's actually going to be quite easy to hit set in this game. But I wasn't thinking that through. I should have put the Thief's Glove on a Mumu, and then the actual tank items on the set. That actually would have worked better. But this is still not terrible. Getting the Thief's Glove and using it to give some additional items to a frontliner is not bad. And set's pretty versatile in terms of what he can use. Obviously, he mostly prefers tank items. Here we get here just in time to beat this Yasuo. Very nice. Obviously, Set would prefer tank items, but he actually uses AD items pretty well, too. He can't really use AP items when he rolls them on the Thief's Glove. So anyway, now I'm level 7. I've been level 7 for a little bit here, and the plan is we just slow roll on level 7. We're trying to find more Samiras, and we're trying to find more Urgots. So I'm going to get the 2-star Samira coming in from Antisocial Monkey. I am not going to sell my Samira on the board. If I can find, I have to find 2 more Samiras in order to get the 2-star. It actually kind of feels bad because I currently have a 2-star on the bench that I'm not playing and a 1-star on the board, but I need to get to 9 of these. I do not have a Samira headliner to give me 3 copies. I need to find 9 of this unit, so I'm just going to take my time. If I can find 2 more, then the one on the board will become a 2-star unit, and then I'll still have to find 3 more after that. But the good news is this person here, Gundam, this is the person playing the Double Trouble board, and they've got the multiple copies of Twitch. So they're going to be taking lots and lots of Vexes out of the pool and lots of Amumus. Now, that's not great because those are also units I'd like to play, but it does make it easier to hit Samira and Urgot with them taking so many of them out of the pool. Long term, they're going to, as I said, they're going to take 12 Vexes and 12 Amumus out of the pool. So it's going to be easier to hit the 3-cost units. And now this is what we don't want to see. It's a carousel with 3 spatulas. This is legitimately really bad for us because we have the most health in the lobby, and now other people are going to be able to make emblems with these spatulas. So like Pentakill 10 becomes much more likely, KDA 10 becomes more likely, True Damage 9 becomes more likely. This is 100% not what we want. Anyway, I really wanted the bow there. I don't get the bow there. So, all right, I guess, I actually kind of forgot there was a second bow. I could have actually just taken the other bow that was on the 1 gold, but instead I took the Alawi instead with a frontline item. And that's not terrible, taking the Alawi. All right, we also finally find Thresh, so that's nice. Now I don't need to play Katarina. And in fact, I don't need to play her at all. I have 7 country, and I never need to play her if I don't want to. So I can just get rid of this Katarina. I was trying to see if Antisocial Monkey needed the Alawi. He does not need the Alawi. So yeah, we just don't need Katarina. Now there is an option to play into the crowd diver portion of this. You can play Katarina and then look to play like Zed or Kiana in the late game. That is a possibility. But again, there's another player that's re-rolling for crowd divers. So there's a lot of them out of the pool. Antisocial Monkey is trying to go for Yone. Is this one of the? Yeah, this is one of the crowd diver. This is one of the crowd diver players. Note that they have the Katarina headliner, so they're re-rolling for Cat. They already have 7 cats, and they are trying to play Zed as well. So it doesn't really make sense to play Katarina in this lobby. She's heavily contested, and honestly, I can play 7 country, and I don't even need her, which is pretty wild. As I said, there's only 5 country units, so yeah, to be able to play 7 country and not even have to play one of them is pretty nice. Katarina would just be a dead slot in my comp, but now I can play other better units instead. Anyway, now it's time to go back to rolling. By the way, remember how I said I saw a lot of Tom Kenches in this game? I probably could have 3-starred Tom Kench, but that's water under the bridge. So I will pick up the set. Note the Ari and the Twisted Fate that I can't play, so that's unfortunate. And I'll go ahead and grab the set. I overrolled a little bit. I went past the 50 gold there, so I am eating into my income slightly. The good news is ASM's doing quite well over there. He's got the 6 true damage, it looks like. He just hit KL 3-star, which is useful because remember he's playing into Edgelords. Edgelords and true damage. I think he's trying to do 6 true damage, 5 Edgelords for his board. He's also getting close on Senna as well. I think that between us we have 7 Sennas right now, so I'm continuing to hold. I'm hoping that I'm going to find one more so I can send him a 2-star copy. I'm also hoping I can find some more Samiras because I'm still sitting here with a 1-star Samira on my board, which is pretty hilarious. But it's still going to be enough. It's still going to be enough to win. I'm actually playing pretty heavily through the Urgot and the just the Country 7 Hecarim right now. Normally Samira is the featured unit. And there we go. I finally did hit that anyway. Also going to find another Yone, so I should probably grab that as well. Yeah, over there it's what is it? We have 7 Sennas between us, and I think he has 6 Yones between him. So, like I said, we're getting closer to some of our 3-stars. And again, because so many people are re-rolling for 3-stars, we're kind of all unlocking each other's combinations. Remember, there's lots of the 2-cost units out as well. That person playing double Twitch and double Pantheon's taking a lot of the 2 costs out of the lobby as well. Here's something less useful. I get a rod. I really don't want a rod. And then I get another rod. I was like, oh god, another rod. What do I do with these rods? So the only thing I can really do is make a Rage Blade. So I was like, all right, Rage Blade. I would much prefer Last Whisper here, but Rage Blade is a good way to kill one of these rods. By the way, yes, even more Tom Kenches. And by the way, there's the 2-star Senna. There's another Samira. And by the way, I'm up to 7 sets now, so that's pretty good. I do have a leftover rod. About the only thing I can do is slap this on the Thresh and make a Crown Guard, which is not a great item on Thresh, but it's not terrible. It's serviceable. And what else was I going to do with that anyway? Now I'm back up against the double Twitch, double Vex player, the person playing the double Trouble board or whatever it's called now. Or no, actually, that's not me. That's someone else. I'm up against the Crowd Divers board. And the good news is Samira does have that Hand of Justice because she is actually taking a lot of damage from these Crowd Divers. They keep jumping in the back line and stunning her. I actually need to move her to the center of the board because she's in a bit of an awkward spot. But she does have that healing from the Hand of Justice, which was coming in handy, but then the reinforcements come in, and so much for that. Yeah, ASM was playing the Twitch Double Trouble board. By the way, that's 8 sets now, so okay. Not far off on that one. There's another Vex, but I actually don't really have bench space, so I can't pick this unit up as much as I would like to. I would really like to pick that up, but I don't think I can. Oh, it's another gift round here, so I'm going to get a gift from ASM, and again, I don't actually have bench space for this, so I have to sell something here, and I can't remember what I actually, I think I just rolled past it. Fortunately, I hit the 2-star Mumu. I ended up getting the Tome of Traits here, so I'm going to go ahead and try to pull something useful, and fortunately there is something useful, Guardian Emblem. I can use that. None of the other things are useful, but Guardian Emblem is. So we'll go ahead and put this on someone, and I was like, I guess we'll put this on Tom Kench. So long term, this means I can now look to play 4 Guardians when I get to level 8. To do that, I just need to get 3-star Samira and go from there. I still need 2 more Samiras. ASM has 1, so we just need to find 1 more between us. He also, by the way, I believe he also has a 2-star Urgot over there. So he can send either a 1-star Samira or a 2-star Urgot. And we're going to have to think about what makes more sense for him to do. All right, this is up against one of the disco boards. And it's pretty close, but it looks like we have this. And Yasuo comes in to get another stack or 2, so that's pretty nice. Yeah, Disco just not strong in this patch. It got buffed in the patch that's been released since this game was played, but just not strong in this one. All right, so now I have the champion send back. I'm going to go ahead and send this Senna. Note that Antisocial just made 2-star Senna himself, so that gets him the 3-star. There we go. Popping up on that interface. And he just made the 2-star Urgot. I knew he had a 2-star Urgot. It was just, he just made it. He's going to take the 3 components. So now he's going to have to decide what he wants to send me. And I decided I would roll here. I hit another Samira. So now I'm on 8. I'm on 8 sets, 8 Samiras. And then we have 9 Urgots between the 2 of us, but we have to decide what to use the champion send on. So I figured I would try to see if I could hit the Samira myself. And if I couldn't hit it, then he can send me the last Samira. But hopefully I can hit the last one, and then he can just send me the Urgot, because it would be really nice to hit Samira 3-star, Urgot 3-star simultaneously. That would definitely make my board a lot stronger. That said, I don't think I can beat this person until I have 3-star Samira. This board's really strong. They have all the bonus stats from playing the double, what is it, the double Twitch, the double Vex. There's just a lot of units to get through. And they also have a Tactician's Crown too, because they're able to take frequent flyer, which means when you reroll 16 times, you get a Tactician's Crown. So obviously they're going to be rerolling a ton. It was a very good augment for them to get. And that person, Gundam, is definitely the strongest in the lobby right now. So we're going to have to try to beat them. Fortunately, their partner is not quite as strong, but we're going to have to try to overcome them between the two of us. Okay, carousel time, we're last picks again. At least there's no spatulas here to sabotage things, so that's kind of nice. It's mostly AP items, which is not really what I'm looking for. I would have taken the Rage Blade if that was there. That is not there, so I'm just going to have to take a tank item. Like, I can't use any of these other things. All these AP things, I mean, I guess they could go on Vex, but I have 1-star Vex. Vex is really doing nothing on this board, so I'll just take another Crown Guard, and I guess I can put that on Hecarim, or not on Hecarim, on Thresh to get a bigger shield. By the way, more Tom Kenches in the store. Excuse me. So now Antisocial's got the send back. So I was like, before you use that up, let me just roll and see if I can hit the Samira. I was going to roll down to like 20 gold, and I do hit the Samira. And that means he can now use the champion send on that 2-star Urgot. So just like that, I hit 2-star Samira, I hit 2-star Urgot. That's a good case of how you do have to think about the game situation. Because it made sense for us to spend some gold, see if I could hit the last Samira. I was only 1 off. And then that would allow him to use the champion send on the Urgot instead. So we've got Urgot 3-star. We have Samira 3-star. Remember, every star level of my country units does make the Hecarim stronger, so that's pretty nice. Having multiple 3-stars definitely makes the Hecarim a lot stronger. And on top of that, I have the Super Hand of Justice on both of them. Good item, pretty good item on both of them. As I said, I'm reasonably happy with Samira's items. I would like to would have liked the Last Whisper, but I'm reasonably happy with this. Now, I'd really like to get, if I could get a Last Whisper for Urgot, that would be great. If I could get an Evan Shroud to put on a frontliner, that would be awesome too. I really would like some Armor Shred. That's the one thing that my comp is lacking, but, sometimes the pieces just don't come together for that. I don't really see how that could have happened. I definitely preferred using my cloak. I've only gotten 1 cloak the entire game, right? No, I did get 2 cloaks. I used one on the country emblem. I used the other to make a Gargoyle Stone Plate, but I did make the Gargoyle Stone Plate on literally the first round of the game, so I think that made sense. I didn't want to just sit on that the entire game, not doing anything, in the hopes of making like an Evan Shroud later. So I'm reasonably happy with the way I've used the items in this game, for better or for worse. They're not best in slot, but everything's pretty serviceable right now. And since I now have the 3-star Samira and the 3-star Urgot, my board's pretty strong. Hecarim got off a great ult there, too, hitting the backliners there. He is just such a damage soak, the Hecarim, and that's going to be enough to knock this team out of the lobby, so that's pretty nice. And ASM's going to win his round as well. So we've got 1 team out of the lobby. There's another Thresh. And another team's on 1 HP. So it looks like it's going to have to be it looks like we're going to have to try to overcome the Gundam board. That one's probably the strongest one. So the best thing I can do here is go to level 8 and then put in this Nico that I very conveniently 2-starred as the game's going on. Remember, there's so many 3-cost units out of the pool that it becomes easy to hit the unplayed 3-cost. So Nico not really being played by people. I think the KDA player has a Nico on their board, but that's it. So relatively easy to hit this. Oh, of course, and yeah, Samira pops out. Great, thanks. Thanks for the Samira. Definitely need that now. Would have been nice on the last round. But anyway, now we're going to go level 8. We'll put in this Nico. There we go. So we got a very tanky front line here. For my next item, I'm looking here, and I was like, cool, Sterix. It's going to be great on Urgot. Very, very good item. And then I hit the set 3-star as well. So again, I'm a little disappointed. I don't have the items that are on. I wish that a Mumu and Set had their items reversed. I mentioned that earlier in the game. But like that would be another 3-star unit, giving all the country bonuses to the Hecarim. Like I could have 3-star Samira, 3-star Urgot, and 3-star Set with a country emblem. And that would be pretty nice. Anyway, I could see I was going to be up against a Crowd Divers player, so note that I shift here. I'm going to shift the targeting dummy into the corner because the Crowd Diver units, when they die, they fling into the corner and get a stun off. So this is going to mean that Samira is less likely to get focused in this fight, less likely to get stunned by the Crowd Divers, so that's pretty nice. And, oof, wow, last second, she got taken out by something at the very last second there. I'm not sure exactly what that was, and so that's going to turn what would have been a win into a loss, unfortunately. Thought that I had that one, but unfortunately at the last second, somebody came flying in. At this point now, I'm just trying to see if I can 2-star the Thresh. I might as well pick up the extra Nikos because why not? There's a chance I might 3-star this if the game goes on long enough. But we're just going to keep rolling here, rolling here. I'm looking for that last Thresh. Oh, there we go. That actually does make a big difference, getting the Thresh up to 2-star as well. So yeah, my front line's pretty beefy. I'm pretty happy with this overall setup here. And now I'm going to have to deal with potentially the other Crowd Diver board or the Double Trouble board. And it looks like I have the other Crowd Diver board. Remember I said there's multiple Crowd Divers in this lobby. And this one is the partner of the Double Twitch, Double Vex board. So I just need to try to win this round quickly because we want to get this team down to 1 HP if we can. That other board is probably the strongest, but yeah, this player actually not that strong. It's just the other board that's really strong. So we are going to get them down to 1 HP. And now both of the other teams that we're up against are at 1 health. So one of them is going to have to be out of this lobby sooner or later. They can't both sit on 1 HP. I also found another Vex, and I was pretty happy with that because it allowed me finally to transfer items. I saw that I had this extra Hand of Justice. I was like, all right, Vex is literally doing nothing. She's just a trait bot. Let's sell the Vex and put in the replacement Vex to get this item over to Urgot. So he has double Hand of Justice. Also, check this out. The player Cougar has actually made 9 true damage. Yeah, they were able to get the double true damage emblems, and then they have Yasuo as a true damage headliner. So that's 9 true damage, which is really overpowered. The good news is that they actually don't have that strong of a board. They just have the 9 true damage in. I'm going to be up against the Double Twitch, Double Vex board. Unfortunately, they just hit a Mumu 3-star, which is not great. That Mumu just got way, way, way stronger. So it's just taking a long time to cut through their front line here. This is a really strong board, and you can see they cut through the Hecarim. So I'm going to be able to kill some of these units, but I still can't touch their back line. That said, their partner just died there, so they're actually out of the lobby, which is quite nice because I believe that was the strongest board in the lobby. But as I said, their partner just died, so they're actually going to end up with a 3rd place, even though I think they had the strongest setup. Okay, so now it's down to just us and another team on 1 HP, and I actually see there's another country emblem here. I was like, okay, I'll just take this. Now, would it have been better to take the Warmogs? Maybe. I could have potentially just taken the Warmogs and played it on like put it on Thresh. I don't think that would have been terrible, but I did like the idea of having another country emblem here. So now I don't actually have to play the Tom Kench. I can replace Tom with another Bruiser, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. We'll go ahead and replace him with the Zac. By the way, the country emblem should have gone on the Nico because Nico is 2-starred and the Zac is 1-starred. So that's a minor mistake there. I was also able to send a Yone over to antisocialmunky, though, so that actually made Yone 3-star. He was 1 off, and I was able to hit the unit. So he now has 3-star Yasuo, 3-star Senna, 3-star Kale, and 3-star Yone, and Yone has a true damage emblem. So I'm up against the 9 true damage player. Again, this person has 9 true damage, which is like super busted, but they don't actually have that much except for the Yasuo. So I'm actually going to beat the 9 true damage board, as wild as that might seem. And ASM looks like he beat their partner as well. So we're going to wrap this up for a very entertaining game. True Damage, Edgelord on his board, Country on my board. Together, we're able to get the job done and take first in this Masters/Grandmaster lobby here that we're playing in Double Up. So that was a fun game. I thought that we played together really well. I thought that we used the champion sends just about perfectly in that game. We were able to unlock each other's comps, really find the units that each other need, and we played around what the rest of the lobby was playing, hitting the units that were uncontested, staying away from the ones that were contested outside of the Yasuo that ASM needed to have. Anyway, though, hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Until next time, take care, folks. See you again soon.